I'm in a groove state of mind. I'm moving all the time. No excuses and no blame. I'm stepping up my game. I'm a groove school, yes I am. With groove I know I can. Read my master plan. I'm grooving, yes I am. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. Groove Nation inspires me. The buzz loose and break free. I'm dancing to my dreams. Bursting at the seams. I'm feeling groove-alicious. Groove knows who I am. 'Cause now is my time to have a groove state of mind. I'm grooving. Oh, I'm grooving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving. Oh, I'm moving. I'm moving, yes I am. I'm moving.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's welcome again back for day 3 of Groove at Night, and it's wonderful to be here. And if you think Nicholas looks a little bit different today, well, you're right, because it's not Nicholas. Actually, Nicholas had to take a few days off. He's got a few things on. He's a busy man. And so he's asked me to step in, and if you weren't here yesterday, that's exactly what he's asked me to do. But most of you who would know, who were here yesterday, you would know that I will be filling in for the next 2 days, or the remainder of 2 days that we've got with Groove at Night. Now, I haven't had so much AI in my life in 1 week. It's just been full on with AI, and of course with the launch of Groove.ai, and once we all get access to it, which is on September the 5th, I guess everybody's getting pretty excited about it and can't wait to get in there and try out all these different things that you can do in there. And this is what these sessions are all about, showing you or walking you through some of the things that are actually in there, and some of the fantastic projects that you can create just by having access into your account. Now, remember, at the end of the day, those who are on the backup program will get access from the 5th of September, and there are a few little things that will be features that will be added over time. So you're not going to get everything as soon as you get access. There will be, it's just content related at the moment in terms of text, but images and videos and all that will come along in the near future. So I'm just going to share. Oh, and by the way, we have a special guest today, and he's in the backstage there, and I will introduce him a little bit later on, and when we get into this. And yeah, so let's just get started. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so where we are. Okay, here I am in the dashboard of Groove.ai, and Nicholas has gone over a few things over the last few days. Day 1, he covered things like setting up your profile, the settings, the persona, all those sorts of things. So if we just jump into, say, for instance, the settings there, we get a profile, and if you recall, we had to put the name of our service, what service we're using. At the moment, it's just OpenAI, but there will be others. And he did talk to you about using GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. We're going to just stick with 3.5 and your API key. Okay. And then the presets, if I can jog your memory, you wanted to create a preset, like say for instance, a blogger, and we want that blogger to be in the persona of, say, Neil Patel or Tim Ferriss, Gary Vee. So there's, let's just say Neil Patel and digital marketers. Now, remember, the target audience and the avatar are two different things. The target audience is actually the industry that your audience is, like, say, for instance, as you can see just in there, it says digital marketers. And your avatar, not necessarily, what nationality they are, but you can put in things like blogger from Generation X and technophobe, that sort of thing. So you're reaching out to a certain specific audience, if you like, or avatar. And of course, reading levels, if you remember, Nicholas said, use 12th grade, and you can put rules in there like don't mention anything about click funnels or things like that. This is specifically we're promoting our product, which is Groove.ai. Anyway, let's get back to projects, because that's what this is about. This is all about projects today. We've gone through the knowledge base, we've gone through the settings. Now we're going to go into projects. All right, so when you get to there, you won't see any of these. These are all just ones that I've actually created, but we want to create one for today. So let's just call it, let's go up here and create a new project, and we're going to call this day 3. All right, nice and simple. As soon as you create it, you come into here, we've got your bit of gallery there, and then we'll just click on day 3, and then you've got your kind of like a dashboard, I guess, where you can do everything to work your magic. Now, I'm going to explain the 3 panels. We have 3 panels here. This is your menu. So this is where, as Mike Filsane would put it, this is where you get all your ingredients. If you want to bake a cake, all your ingredients is down here. If you want to cook chicken fettuccine, it's all down here. We can do all that by just going through this panel here. Over here is where we're going to generate the output or the content that we are creating. Okay, it's all going to come out here. So the finished product. And once we do that, we're going to take it over to the new document panel where we can actually make some little changes, little edits and all those sorts of things, tweak it a little bit if we have to. Okay, so let's start from the left-hand side panel. All right, you'll notice up here we've got the AI services. If you hover over it, it says AI services. Now, we can add more, but at the moment, we just have access to OpenAI 3.5. We'll see others there, obviously, in the near future. So that's the one that we're going to select. Now, if you don't select this, you won't be able to type in here, or you won't be able to put any content in there. So you have to select that before you do put anything in here. Okay, now you have presets. Remember when I talked about the persona and all that sort of thing just before? Well, that's this one here. When that's switched on, okay, it's gonna use that persona, whatever persona that you have created. So, for instance, there are 3 personas that I've created. Okay, I wanted to act as a blogger, and the avatar is Generation X, technophobe, or this one here. I want a direct response, and I'm reaching out to millennials and Generation X technophobes as well. So those are the personas that you can choose from, and you click on the little eye there, okay, and then you select which one you want. Okay, so I'm going to select blogger, Generation X, technophobe, and I'm going to put that in there. All right. Now, this box yesterday was down the bottom, but now it's up the top. So they've obviously moved it overnight, and you're going to expect changes like that. So it's not always going to look the same. There might be things being moved around or shifted to different areas, but there's probably a good reason for that. And obviously, Mike has a lot to do with how this all looks. Okay. Now, you'll see here there's a default and there's a direct response, SEO, and creative. Now, I'm just going to stick with the default today. Obviously, if you're doing something that you want to generate more SEO, so if you want to like website content or things like that, text, then I will probably select this one. But because I'm going with the blogger Generation X Technophobe, I'm just going to leave it at default. I don't really need to change it. Next down is the format. All right, now, do you want it done in a blog post format? Do you want it done in an email format? Do you want an outline? Do you want just a headline, okay, or subjective subject line? Or if you click up here to more, then you get a whole range of other options as well. Grammar, translate. Now that's going to be an interesting one. We're going to cover that later. Plagiarism, you can rewrite, you can do bullets, you can do ecom, and down here you can do like press release, article, social media posts. I mean, there's plenty there, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more in the future as well. So we're going to, in this case, we're just going to put it on blog post because we're going to be looking at creating a blog. Now, what sort of framework do you want? Now, just explain framework. Basically, do you want it done in a sort of a listicle style? Do you want a how-to post? Do you want a checklist post? The frequent answer post? So there's a few just there. And like I said before, I'm sure there's going to be more added to there in the near future. Now, I want to include the blog title. I want this to create a blog title. Yeah, I do want it to include keywords and include a preview snippet. What's a preview snippet? You might be asking yourself. Well, a preview snippet in a blog, on a blog page, kind of looks like, let me just go back here. Oh, wait. Need to go back. There. That's a snippet. All right. So you see it up the main feature of the blog page. There's the snippet. But you don't see that when you actually click into the blog. Okay. So that disappears. And then you've just got really the body or the content of the blog to follow. Okay. So that's the snippet. Heading back to here. Length. Now, you can have it short, you can have it medium, or you can have it long in terms of how long you want the blog to be. I'm just going to leave it at short. Now, here's another interesting one, is what tone, what style, and what goal do you want that blog to achieve? Now, when you click on more, then you get a few more options in terms of tone. Okay, I want it to be engaging. You know, I want anybody who comes to my blog, to this blog post, I want it to be engaging. And I want it to be, you know, you got to remember, we're talking about Generation X technophobe. These people don't really, they're not quite sort of understanding the whole sort of technical side of things, or maybe they just, there's a, you know, they have a mental block towards technology, those sorts of things. So what we want to do is we want to make it nice and easy for them. So let's just make it maybe friendly. And then in the style of, say, for instance, persuasive. And what else have we got here? We'll put it informative. And then the goal is, our goal is, we want to increase conversions. And here's another one here. I want to drive traffic. Okay, if I've got some links in there to a website or a product or service page, landing sales page, then I wanted to drive to persuade that person to go to those landing pages or those products or services. So I've only just picked two. You can pick as many as you want, but I'm just going to keep it simple. But when you turn this off, okay, this is the other thing. If this is like that, you're not going to be able to make any changes, okay, on each of those. Like if each of those have that off, I should say, then you're not going to be able to make the changes. You just got to make sure that each of those tabs, you've got it on if you want to make changes. All right. Okay. We're going down to output. Right. Okay. Now, I think Nicholas has covered this. I'm sure he has. I do recall something about him mentioning this, but Markdown. Now, Markdown is the, I guess when you have a look at a blog and you go into a blog, the Markdown, the kind of like the fonts, really, the headings, and, you know, you get that automatic bold, large font. And those are kind of like the Markdown codes, really, because they've been coded so that they're actually larger and they stand out more. That's the kind of thing what this output can create, is that Markdown. Now, at this point, whether you use Markdown code, or whether you use what's the other one? This one here, Markdown WYSIWYG, doesn't really make any difference at this stage. They're still working on a lot of things in the background, so I'm sure that's going to change a little bit, because the output kind of is pretty much the same. I've tested this before. The output is the same as Markdown code. So we're just going to leave it at that one there. And now we've got all our settings sorted to actually write a blog. Okay. Now, what are we going to write about? Okay, so I've actually created something. Well, I got some references or some information from the internet, and it's about how to write a high traffic generating blog. I'm just going to copy all that and I'm going to paste it into here. Okay, into there. That's quite a bit, but you can stick it all in there, and then I'm just going to send. All right, now, as you can see, it's creating the Markdown font, and it looks very good. So it's doing its little thing, creating all the different steps, I guess, as to what creates a fantastic blog or high traffic generating blog. We've even got some tips, some bullet points. You know, this kind of blog that you kind of you want. I mean, we could do with a little bit longer, but in this instance, for demo purposes, we're just going to stick with what we've got there. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's done it within a matter of seconds. You can regenerate the response if you like, or you can create additional responses. But at this stage, we're going to make sure we're just going to stick with this one. Now, here's an interesting thing just before we go on to the next step. Down here, you can see we have presets and formats. All right. Now, these work in conjunction with these up top here. Okay. So if I turn that off, it'll turn it off up top as well. All right. If I turn them both off, then it just relies on what you put in there. Okay, it's not going to rely on anything that we've actually set up in here. So we want to have those on, okay, so that we can keep the formats and we can keep the presets that we've already done. All right. So now we've gone through this and we've had a quick look. You always want to fact check things too as well. Anything that AI generates, you want to fact check it and make sure that it's it's legitimate and it's correct, because as we know, the AI can actually come up with its own information sometimes, and so we want to be careful when we're creating blogs that we're not getting carried away and just creating blogs and not even reading through it and making sure that the information is correct, because could be some stuff in there that may not be correct. But nothing wrong with just checking it. All right, so that's the blog post. Now, let's just say, I actually I'm not sure if I like that title. Unleash the power of Groove funnels to supercharge your online business. It sounds great, but maybe I just want a few more options. All right, let's head over here and let's go to headline. Let's create a headline. Now, before I move on to headline, I want to get Ching Yu in here. Where are you, Ching Yu? Here we go. Ching Yu, welcome to the stage. You're no stranger to this.
Yeah. Welcome. It's great to see you, Peter, and great sharing so far on all of the platform. And if you happen to love what Peter is sharing, give a heart or give a love into the chat right now, because what he's sharing is just the very beginning of Groove.ai, and I'm very very excited for the official launch on the 5th of September.
Awesome to you. Stick around because we're probably going to have some questions. So stay there, and I'll carry on with the walkthrough of the dashboard. Now, as I said, we're going to look for another title. So I've gone over to headline, okay, and with the headline, I also want to include a pre-headline. Let's have a look at the framework first. Okay, I don't want just normal. I want to achieve exceptional results in just in time. Basically, you've got all these other options here as well. Let's just stick with this one here. I want that one, and I'm going to include a pre-headline and a sub-headline. I'm just going to leave that. Now, I don't think you really need to do a lot here, but maybe I'm going to make it persuasive just for the hell of it. I'm just going to put some ideas across it and see what it comes up with. Persuasive, creative, and the goal is to increase conversions. That's what I want to try and achieve. There's others there too as well. Actually, we'll do boost engagement as well. The output, again, we just want to go with the markdown, and we want to add a new chat. Okay, we don't want to put it in the same box. We want to try and just keep these separate so we can keep track of things. We're going to add a new chat. Click on there. Don't think much has changed there. No, that's cool. I'm going to put the same reference or the same text that I put into the last one into the box here as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste again all that reference text that I had, and I'm just going to go enter and see what happens. Cool. So now we have our pre-headline. We have our headline, and we have our sub-headline. Okay, so we can include that into our blog. Let's just have a look at this. The headline: Unlock limitless potential. Connect your Namecheap domain to, because this is what that text was about actually. Namecheap. Connect your Namecheap domain to Groove Funnels, Groove.cm. Just a few clicks. Empower your online business. Elevate your affiliate marketing. So actually, maybe that's probably just a little bit too, maybe it sort of doesn't give you too many options on that one, because this is really about a blog post, how to create high traffic generating blog posts. Discover the simple steps in nature. Okay, let me just ask for a few more. Give me three more options. You can see the similarities when you actually go, when you're typing into, say, for instance, when you're typing into ChatGPT, the similarities that you have in terms of typing in here. Unleash the power of marketing tools, dominate the niche with confidence and needs. I kind of like that. Ignite your digital marketing. Yeah, okay. It sort of just keeps saying connect your Namecheap domain to Groove Funnels. I don't even know where they got that from, actually. So what I might do is I'm going to just choose probably this one as a header. Maybe we'll just exclude the subline. We'll just make that a main header, if you like. So we want to keep that one there. And the other thing is, what we want to do, we want to go back to here, to the first one that we did. And we want to move this, all of this text over to this side, into the third panel. So we want to create, we want it to go into a new document. Now, the reason why we're going to be doing this is that we want to make some, if we want to make some changes, then we can do it in there. We can't do it in here. You can copy it, and then you can probably put it into a Word doc, Google Doc. But to save all that, we can put it in here and make some changes in this panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this icon here, move to document, and then make a new document first. And there we have it in here. Okay, and now we can make all the changes. You will see by when you actually click on there, it's already established that it's an H1 heading or H1 tag. Okay, so it's important that we have an H1. I'm going to get rid of the title. So this is what I mean when you're actually making little, you need to make little changes. You can do it here. You can delete stuff. You can amend stuff. You can add text, whatever you want to do. You can do that here. All right. Now, they will later on, at some later stage in the near future, they'll have an option where you can export this into a Word doc. All right, rather than copy and paste. I mean, you could just copy and paste it into a Google Doc or a Word doc, but they're going to have that option later on where you can just export it into a Google Doc. All right, so that's as you can see, there are a few other things that are probably a little bit amiss here. We've got some bullet points there that got nothing beside it, so we're going to get rid of those as well. So you can see why this is important to actually have this here in the third panel, because at the end of the day, we want to make those changes before we send it over to, before we put it into a blog post. So it pays to go and check right through it. I mean, obviously, if you got tips here, maybe you want to make that a little bit more bolder and maybe a little bit bigger. I mean, entirely up to you. Yeah, those are the sorts of things that you can do. You want something to stick out more, then, just make it bold as well. All those sorts of things. Groove funnels, make that bold as well. So there's a lot of different things that you can actually do in here, pretty much like a Word doc. Your spacing might need to change a wee bit. There's a range of different things that you can actually do. Now, Chingy, you do a lot of posting. Where have you gone? Are you still there? Yes, you are. You do a lot of posting, say, for instance, into LinkedIn and Facebook, and I'm gathering you do blogs as well. I mean, what does this mean to you to have a tool or an application that you've got everything there at your fingertips, and you don't have to actually leave it to create the content that you want?
Yeah, and with especially as a content marketers, and even when we talk about doing paid adverts, right? Currently, without a tool like Groove.ai, I will need to skip between Google Docs, ChatGPT, and then going back and forth, and then doing my research all over. But when I'm able to consolidate everything into a single platform here in Groove.ai, it just makes the workflow frictionless and easy. So, one of the biggest resistance, right, when it comes to content creation is the creation process. Right, so with Groove.ai, we are able to smoothen out the process, and not only that, to have existing frameworks that already works, and it instantly elevates us to professional statuses, and then potentially beyond as well. So no longer, especially for people who are brand new in internet marketing, you don't know where to start, you don't know where to go. The great thing is, with all the presets available within Groove.ai, is able to guide us step by step, just like how Peter has run us through, just line by line, just click, and then boom, there you go, you have your output. All we need to do is just to be clear on what we want, and it makes life so much easier. I'm guessing this has probably saved me potentially tens of hours in a week, right? And all of that racks up.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there, Chinya. It just saves a tremendous amount of time. I know for me, you know, you're doing affiliate marketing and you're doing blogs, you're doing content for social media, you're doing content for, you know, whatever it might be, like LinkedIn or, you know, all that sort of thing. You do actually need a tool that's got everything in the one place. And, you know, just like a Groove.cm, we have all the tools in the one place. This is exactly the same. You don't need to go from one platform to another platform to another platform. Now, of course, I did mention that it's only going to come out at this stage with the ability to create text content. But soon after that, we'll be getting things like images, to be able to do images, and then videos, uploading videos and all that sort of thing. So there's a lot more to come. We're only scratching the surface. This is just to get you sort of like geared up and excited about what's coming in terms of once they open the access for all us backers, and get you in there using this tool as soon as possible. And it's only around the corner, so it's not that far at all. Now, as I said before, let's go back to our middle panel here. We're looking for a title or a headline, I should say. I kind of choose this one here because actually, no, was it that one? No, this one here. This one here. I'm going with this one here because of the fact that it's got it's in the title. It's got discover the game-changing strategies of a world-class blogger and skyrocket your online presence with GrooveFunnels Groove.cm platform. Okay, I'm going to add that over. Now I can either copy and paste that, but I want to probably just move it over, and I want to get rid of these other ones. So let's just see what happens. So first time I'm trying this, so I'm hoping. Okay, cool. I'm going to get rid of this. And you can see the importance of actually having this in there to make these changes. Right. We want to bring that title, this one here. We want to actually bring that title, and let's just cut and paste it down in here. You can see this line break here. That's actually separated this information from the main blog, because if you can see here, there's your preview snippet. All right, that's the one that you actually put into the post, but this is the one that actually gets seen and not in the content itself. So we don't want that in this blog post, and we don't want all these keywords. It's just actually identifying what keywords are actually in there in the blog post. So we're not going to put any of that into the blog post. Okay, now we're just going to put that title that I chose, and I'm just going to highlight that, and I'm going to turn that into an H1. Okay, and automatically it just becomes bigger, and it's gone into that markdown code. And in here, we can just copy and paste all this and put it into our blog post, and just leave that there for our reference. And then we can actually add that snippet into when we create the post. And obviously this, we know what the keywords are in here as well. So we actually need that information. We don't need that information at all in the blog post. I just want to make reference to something that if you guys have noticed, and if you weren't here yesterday, up here, it looks like a temperature gauge, if you like, or thermometer. This is actually and I don't think this is quite ready yet. But if you put the bring it down towards the left, you're going to get more, I guess, information from the internet. Okay, which is, they've called it the world knowledge. If you have it more to here, you're going to get more the information from your knowledge base, which is the information that you've uploaded to the knowledge base. All right, so that's what you're going to get based on your blogs and everything else. So it's going to rely on that. If you have it 50-50, then obviously it's going to get half from the outside and half from in your knowledge base. So that's, if you're wondering, that's what that temperature gauge is, or thermometer. All right, let's move along. All right, so we've done our blog post. We're we've done a headline. Now, I'm just going to create another tab here. What about an email? Let's create an email. Out of all that information that we've put in here, why don't we just create an email so that we can send to our contact list? What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the text that I had before, that I've used before. And we're just going to go down here and we're going to go through through the list again. We're going to keep it at default. We're going to change it to email. And in the email there, we have different frameworks. We can have a problem and solution, a project update, a feedback request, follow-up, proposal, networking, a whole range of things at the moment. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick with problem and solving. Right? We're identifying, we're identifying the problem, but we're giving you the solution. We're going to put in a subject line. We'll make this one medium. And the tone, we're going to have maybe something like, don't forget, we're still sort of reaching out to Generation X and technophobes here, okay? So we don't want it to be like something like professional or, what's another one there? Serious or formal. We want it to be a little bit more engaging. So let's click on that one, or leave that one as it is. We'll go to the style. Let's make it informative. And then goal. Well, we want to encourage people. We want to drive people to the website or to the link that we've got in our email. So we're going to keep that to drive traffic. And let's put that one in there, lead generation. That's my favorite. Okay. With the output, again, we're just going to select this. All right. Did you have a question, Chingy? Sorry, Chingy, did you have a question? No?
Nope. All good.
Okay. Good. All right. Now, that text that I copied before and put into the other two chats, I'm going to use the same text and I'm going to put it in here. And send. All right. So now you see we've got our subject line. It's going, hey there, name and brackets. And it's creating the text for an email. Now, don't forget, I did this as a medium email, length of email. So there will be it'll be quite a long email. But let's just go through it once it's done. All right. Okay. As you can see, we've got our subject there. Boost your blog traffic with these proven strategies. Hey there, name and brackets. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to reach out and share some powerful strategies that can help you drive high traffic to your blog. As a fellow blogger and digital marketer, I know how important it is to generate a steady stream of readers and engage with them effectively. So let's dive in right into it. Okay, so you can see where that whole, I guess, that tone, that engaging and that, that's come into it. Now let's have a look at this. Choose the right topic. The first step in creating a high traffic blog post is selecting a topic that resonates with your target audience by researching popular and trending subjects using tools like Google Trends, BuzzSumo, or industry-specific forums. You can uncover topics that will captivate your readers. So in a way, it's a little bit more informative. And keeping in mind, we are trying to reach out to the blogger, to the Generation X technophobe. So, we don't want this information to get too out of hand where it gets too technical, right? But, I think there is a slight component of a solution, what do we have? A problem and solution framework. But, let's just stick with that as our email. Obviously, you want to read right through it. You want to make sure that it's all correct. and before you move it over to the right-hand panel. But if it's not correct, then move it over. Let's just add another document. Click on there, and let's just move it over. I'm going to get rid of this because that actually ends up staying there. Okay, move it over to there, and now you can see there's a few things that that need to be adjusted in the back end of the platform. But obviously they're still working on stuff at the moment. So this is the whole idea about coming into here and making those edits. Taking those sorts of things out. Just I think that was supposed to have a number there anyway. Let's have a look. Right. Now, when it starts behaving like that, you probably want to make all those manual changes. Obviously, put the numbers where they should be. In this case, I'm just going to clear them just as demo purposes, showing you why you need to have it in here and why you need to make those changes at this stage, right? At least you can make the changes here and not having to actually copy it into a Word doc first and then make the changes. Again, that's just another, a multi-step scenario, and we don't want to do that. We want to do everything within here. As you can see, there's a whole lot more to do, but you get the gist, right? You get the gist as to what you can actually do in here. There you go. All right, so we've got our email. All right, we'll tidy all those other things up later on, but we've got our email, and that it's pretty much we've fact checked it, and it's ready to copy and paste or import into a Word doc, or straight into a email, an email that we want to send out to our clients, so or our customers, and yeah, so that's pretty much what that area can do for you. Now, there's one more thing before we go that I want to show you, and I did mention it before. It's pretty exciting. I quite like it, and I think a lot of many of you out there would probably see this as a huge benefit. But anyway, what I want to do is I want to go back up to here, and I want to go into more, and I want to select translate. All right. I want to select translate. Now, let's just create a new chat here for this one. Okay, from here, I want to translate from English, and probably one of the most popular ones globally is Spanish. So I want to translate into Spanish. Where are we? Oh, yeah. And let's just keep that one short. Again, want it engaging. I want the style to be, I want it to be informative and goal. I want that to drive or generate or increase conversions and drive traffic. All right. Output, we'll just keep it the same. That's what I want. All right. That's what I want to create. And so I've actually put, as Mike Forsyth would say, I've put all the ingredients in. Now I want to bake the cake. All right. Now, I'm going to use the text here from the email. That's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to select all that. And I want to copy. And I want to paste it in there. All right. And then I just send. Now, what you're going to see is not. All right. So can you see? It hasn't translated it into Spanish. So I'm going to stop generating. I don't want it to carry on because that's not what I asked it for. Now, this is just one of those little things that will get fixed. Okay. So it's not like that's how it's going to be forever. Those are just some of the little things that will be addressed over this period, obviously. So they're just little bugs that need to be sorted out. So instead of letting it carry on, I'm going to ask it to actually translate into Spanish. All right, so you have to give it another instruction, all right? And then I just push send, send, and now we get an email in Spanish. And I'm sure for many of you, this would be a bit of a game changer. You can do the same. Obviously, you can do the same for the blogs. You can do the same for, you know, whatever you're creating, a social media post and all that sort of thing. But you have the ability to do it all in the one place and not having to go to multiple platforms. So this is the email in Spanish. Now, I don't understand Spanish, so I'm unable to fact check it. So at the end of the day, obviously, if you're Spanish speaking, then you'd be able to make sure that relates to what's ever in this white panel here. So that was pretty exciting. What do you think of that, Xingyu?
Wow, that's exciting, you know, especially with the translation feature. We are able to reach out to, you know, the world, essentially, right? Yeah,
absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another document, and then I'm just going to send that over to there. And obviously, if there's any changes, hang on, not that one, this one. Let's just go delete. Obviously, if there's any changes, then you just make them in here. Actually, they kind of worked out better formatted than the other email. But anyway, that's it there. So that is the end of today's walkthrough. I just wanted to go through those few things, you know, things that we'll be using the most as blog posts, emails, and you know, even translations. So, but as you can see, when you get access to your Groove.ai dashboard, you'll be able to go in there, you'll be able to identify with a lot of the things that we've walked through, and then you'll know immediately what you need to be doing and, you know, how to do it and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, so hopefully that's helped the viewers today to understand more about what Groove.ai has got coming. And of course, we're only scratching the surface. There's a lot more to come, and you know, and we're gonna certainly see more features being added after we get access. Now, if you're not a backer of Groove.ai, then you should be, because it is a huge money-saving thing to do. Because, you know, if you go into Groove, if you wait till after the I guess after the official launch of the Groove.ai, then there's that potential that, you know, that lifetime offer is not going to be there, and you're going to be paying monthly, and you don't want to be paying monthly. You want to have this, and you want to have a lifetime. So the Groove.ai, if you go there, there is a way that you can get into it now, and before that time frame expires, get into there now. And there are options. So I haven't actually looked at the page. I know that Nicholas has gone over this yesterday, but there are options in terms of payment. There's a little button. He always says, don't tell anybody, but there's a little button down the bottom, and if it shows up, you can click on that, and then you can do sort of like easy payments, like 4 payments or 2 payments, or you can just do the 1 payment. Of course, we just want to get in there and get that lifetime, that lifetime one, because you're going to be saving yourselves thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, you know, over a period of time. And, you know, when you look at something like this, think of the potential that you can make money out of, like doing blog posts and doing emails for your clients, for your customers. You know, this is the sort of thing that this has the potential of you being able to utilize it and make money. I mean, the price that you pay for a lifetime, being a lifetime backer, is insignificant to what you can actually make. And of course, you're going to have, like, you know, the benefits of all the updates that they're going to put in there and all that sort of thing too as well. So it's going to be a huge game changer. There's nobody else in the world that is doing this. And so, you know, we're the lucky ones that are going to get in there first and be able to have something like this at our fingertips and in our toolbox. Let me just see if there's any questions here. Maybe I can't really see comments. All right, we've got some lots going on in here.
Yep. So just to address the question that's popped up on screen, is there still a Groove on? Is there still a deal on Groove.ai? And the answer is absolutely yes. It is still available right now. If you go to Groove.ai, then this is where you will be able to see. Just click Become a Backer today. Click on this button, and then you will see that the lifetime membership is still available during this launch. You will be able to invest in the platform for only 2 easy payments of $497. And by the way, if you ever wanted to own your very own SaaS company, you can white label Groove.ai as well. And there is a limitation to only 1,000 white labels, and I am pretty sure we are close to hitting the limit already. So just tick this box if you want to be a Groove.ai white labeler, so that you can partner together with Mike Filsame and the Groove.ai team. Put your own brand, sell it, and then it's a 50-50 split. Over here, you won't be charged for the next 5 months for the white label. You will only be charged in January next year. All right. So it releases in January 2024. So you can commit right now. And then, if at the end of the day you feel, hey, I don't think I want the white label, you can always pull out of it anytime, right? So this is a limited time opportunity, and it has a limit cap. From what Mike shared, is capped at 1,000 white labels only. So make sure you get it while it's still available. And with what Peter shared, if you scroll down just at the bottom right over here, if so happens, 897 is too much at this point in time, or 497 is too much, still you can look for happy hour. Okay, you can find happy hour here, and then just click here on the button, and you will see a pop-up that shares with you the offer for only $250 for 4 easy payments, right? And again, remember, you have the white label option. All right. And yeah, so it's great what Peter has been sharing with us. If other than using the Groove.ai platform, you want to continue learning and to see how Peter or even myself, we are innovating using the Groove.ai platform to promote the platform, our products, our services, affiliate marketing programs and additional trainings. Search for us on Facebook. Search for Peter. Search for his name over there. You see his handsome face in the profile picture, and then search for me, Ching Yu Tan. I'll be welcoming you with big and open arms. All right. So back to you, Peter.
Thanks, Ching Yu. Thank you very much. I don't see any other questions. And there was one earlier, which I'm not sure if he's still here. And let me Paul Smith. First time for me. Any suggestions? I'm not sure what that's for, but hey, if it's the first time for you to sort of come into something like Groove.ai and get a platform that's got everything all in the one place, then the suggestion is go to Groove.ai and sign up and get yourself go into the lifetime backer. As Ching Yu just said before, there are options when the happy hour is on. There are options if the one price is too much to pay straight away, you can break it up into different payments, multiple payments. But I think that's it for me today. Thanks for being a guest on here, Ching Yu, and I'm going to invite you back again tomorrow and to be part of it. Actually, I think you've got something on tomorrow, haven't you?
Yeah, so, I've got something on tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like it's just me, myself, and I, the three of us.
Yep.
Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again tomorrow, and we'll have some more exciting stuff to cover. Bye for now.